it's Simple C, and today I'm going to be doing my very first build in the new expansion pack, Enchanted by Nature. This is one of 3 neighborhoods in the pack. This is Coast of Moor. This is kind of where like the tourists live, the regular townies live. There's really no fairies that live here. It's just they're kind of against the fairy magic. I was inspired by the colorful houses they had with the different color swatches. So I'm going to try to replicate that the best I can. This build will also be featured on my new mini-series I'm going to be presenting on my channel. It's going to be called A Fairy's Tale. I'm not going to give up too much information about it, but I will give you guys a brief detail about it maybe towards the end of the video. So please stay tuned for that. Alright, so here is the house. It is a tiny home. I did it off camera because it takes me literally forever and nobody wants to see me just sit there and contemplate. I did add in the new feature, the glass wall on the side. I'm going to add more windows to the back of it once I realize like where all the rooms and stuff are going to be. My goal is to use the new items in the new pack in the house, and then if I have to dab into base game, I will, but it's last resort. So I started off by adding these new branch lamps that we got. They made the room extremely bright, so I really needed to see because it was dark as hell. But anyways, this couch, I didn't know if I wanted in the sunroom or in this room. Sunroom or this room. I don't know. I went with this one. And I decided to put the kitchen over here. Now, when I first originally looked at these counters, they did have like a seam and you can see it. But once they're like in the build, I don't know if it's just because it's so bright in that room, you can't really see it. So it really didn't bother me as much. And I ended up taking out the stove because I was like, it's not the vibe. We'll keep the fridge, get rid of the stove. And I did break the rules just a tiny bit because I wanted them to have an appliance. And base game didn't really have one besides coffee makers. So I added the Instapot. So if you do download this from the gallery, just note that there's no stove. And if you don't have the for rent pack, you're not going to have the Instapot. I guess I could have used the microwave, but oh well, soon. And I really liked the leaf rug. It definitely gave me Animal Crossing vibes. And there is like a similar rug on Disney Dreamlight Valley that we use in Dream Snaps. And it's a vibe. It's a nice rug. I like it. And I really like the different color swatches. We did get quite a few wallpapers. I think a lot of them were for outside, but you could definitely use them inside if you wanted. Like if you were making like a wooden cottage, a lot of them will be great. I just went with the wallpaper with the like moss design. Because it's like the people who are going to be living here, one is not a fairy, and one desires to be a fairy. So we're just going to go with that vibe. I just went with plain upstairs. One's blue, one's going to be green. Another little spoiler, it's going to be a teenager and she's going to be living with her grandmother. Her parents did die. Her parents were fairies and they did die. So she had to go live with her grandmother, which is why her house is small because she was living all alone and now she has to take care of a teenager. And the grandmother, she's really against being a fairy because obviously her daughter died. So she's like, please don't do it. But the teenager, she's like, I just have to. She says she feels it in her bones that she needs to become a fairy. So that's what she does. Back to the build. Now, I really like these wall lamps, but they're very dim. Like it barely makes any type of light. So it's like a decoration lamp. So only use it for decoration. And also, this pack also comes with a full bathroom set. You get the shower, a sink, and the toilet. Like, yay! Also, that sink is not accessible. But it don't matter anyways, because the Sims are going to go use this kitchen sink anyways. So, whatever. I end up adding more lights in there because I really didn't want that huge branch lamp. So, I added some of like the wall vines. I think it came out pretty nice, but it's still pretty dark in there. I guess I could have added a window, but oh well. I am so happy that we got these like cuter gnomes, because if you watch that Goosebumps episode with them damn garden gnomes, like I am scarred for life, terrified. Every time it's Harvest Fest, them things pop up in my house, I just get PTSD and just see them gnomes all over again. It's awful. And if you don't know what I talk about, go on YouTube, type it in, Goosebumps episode with the garden gnomes, and it'll be in your dreams forever. I do like the concept of the new indoor plants though. Like you get to pick your pot, you get to pick your plant, and I guess you're supposed to be able to water it and talk to it in the house. I'll see how that goes. I haven't done any gameplay, and I really haven't watched any because I didn't want to spoil it. The only thing I ever did was just watch like the reviews of Cass and Built By. I do wish that we got a little bit more doodads. I feel like there was more things that they could have came up with. Like even like I really like that book, the book stopper with the mushroom. I feel like that was super creative. I just wish we had more items like that. This rug is very beautiful. It's very different. We really don't have any swatches like that in the game. So that was very refreshing. So upstairs there was like this little nook area between the bedrooms. I did add in the apothecary table and some decorations because grandma, that is her thing. She's going to be doing that aspiration. She is all down for being down for nature, but she ain't down for living outside. She likes to live in her nice little house. So I don't know if it was jungle adventure or outdoor retreat that came with the herbalism thing, because I didn't buy either of those, so I don't know. Is that the same thing? If y'all have it, can y'all let me know? Because I really don't know. I really love these beds. Don't get me wrong. I love them. They're gorgeous. But I could have really used a single bed. Look, it's taking up all my space in these small bedrooms. So I don't know if they maybe just missed it. Because how did you make it for every single lifespan but skip the single bed? It's only half of this and you could have just cut the canopy off. Also, how cute would it have been if we had like an actual cute little mushroom lamp? That would have been cute. I don't know. I feel like they missed out on a lot of opportunities to put in some really cute whimsical stuff. I feel like they just gave us like the bare minimum. Also, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, I said I was inspired by the colorful buildings in the neighborhood. There was no swatch of those colors for me to do that. So I had to go into Lovestruck and use their wallpapers. So there's another cheat I did. I used For Rent and I also used Lovestruck. Terrible. I was like, well, why did you guys advertise these beautiful color houses in the neighborhood but don't give me those swatches? Like, make it make sense. I still don't even feel like these swatches match those. But I made it work. And I didn't add any like plants on top of the roof because I did that in my legacy challenge. And sometimes they glitch out and look like mush. So I just didn't do it this time. Now for the outside, I did use the flooring that came with the pack, but I had to use base game, like some hobbies to put out there. Like there would be nothing to put out there. So when I went into debug, I found this little cute flower shop. So I added that to our yard to be like a pretend small business for the grandma. Like she sells some of her plants and her plant supply stuff over there. I really don't want to make another build with like her plant shop, and I really didn't want to run it, so it's fake. So let's pretend that it's real. All right, so here is the final look. I ended up creating like this cute little pond over here in the front just to kind of like break up some of that yard space, and also I think they could bathe in there, so I'm curious to see how that will work. I added little planter boxes in the back. I got a painting easel and a telescope. Everything looks all cute in the inside. It's very small. This is just her grandmother's house, so the end goal is not to live here forever. Eventually, the teenager will grow up and move out. So in the meantime, they're going to be snug as a bug in a rug. I also added it to the gallery under Nana's tiny home if you are interested in downloading it and using it in your own gameplay. Alright, so if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. And now I'm going to introduce you to Miss Nana Petunia and Willow Petunia. This is Willow meeting her grandmother for the first time. And this is going to be a series on how Willow becomes a fairy. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be called A Fairy's Tale. And I'll try to post weekly if I can. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.